We continue our journey in the Daily Bread Bible study. This is day 104. We are looking at 1 Kings chapters 13 through 15. In 1 Kings 13, we get to discuss more about the split of the kingdoms. The 10 tribes of the north pull away from the tribe of Judah. The only tribe of Benjamin stays with the tribe of Judah. Thus, the two kingdoms become known as Israel in the north and Judah in the south. So these are two kingdoms, Israel and Judah. King Jeroboam reigns in the north over Israel, and King Rehoboam reigns in the south over Judah. This selection of 1 Kings, the section of it, mentions fights between the two kingdoms, both literally and spiritually. So we're going to discuss a lot of their fighting today. Now, a fight in spirit comes between prophets. King Jeroboam of Israel sees a prophet come up from the southern kingdom of Judah in 1 Kings 13, verse 2. A son shall be born to the house of David, Josiah by name, and he shall sacrifice on you the priests of the high places who will offer incense on you, and human bones shall be burned on you. There is more in verse 3. This is the sign that the Lord has spoken. The altar shall be torn down, and the ashes that are on it shall be poured out. The prophet is foreshadowing upcoming events. First, the kingdom of Israel will be reduced to ash because of King Jeroboam's idolatry. Second, God is going to raise up a king in Judah named Josiah, who will lead a reformation for the people. King Josiah will end false worship and remove idols started by King Jeroboam of Israel. This will be discussed in 2 Kings 22, verse 16. Thus, King Josiah, the future king, will purify the community with fire, as the prophet of Judah predicts. Now, King Jeroboam of Israel is unhappy with this message from Judah. He seeks to take hold of Judah, which God prevents by withering his hand. This could also be an indication of the upcoming destruction of the northern kingdom of Israel. When asked, Judah restores Israel, another foreshadowing that Judah will be the only tribe of Israel remaining. King Jeroboam of Israel seeks to have the prophet of Judah follow and quote his ways, but the prophet refuses at first. It is not until being deceived by a lying prophet of Israel that Judah finally falls into disobeying God's way. Once Judah disobeys God, a lion kills them but does not consume them. This is a spiritual metaphor to Babylon, the lion who destroys Jerusalem and exiles the people. Babylon will not kill the line of David, nor devouring the Jews as Assyria will devour the tribes of the Israelites. So this is all foreshadowed in 1 Kings 13, verse 32. For the saying that he proclaimed by the word of the Lord against the altar in Bethel, and against all the houses of the high places that are in the cities of Samaria, shall surely come to pass. In 1 Kings 14, we move on. If you cannot tell, descendants are going to blame King Jeroboam for the fall of Israel. As such, a story of his wife trying to deceive a prophet leads to a harsh curse from God. In 1 Kings 14, verse 10, I will consume the house of Jeroboam, just as one burns up dung until it is all gone. And again, foreshadowing the upcoming Assyrian exile, we hear these words from 1 Kings chapter 14, verse 15. He will root up Israel out of the good land that he gave to their ancestors, and scatter them beyond the Euphrates, because they have made their sacred poles, provoking the Lord to anger. Then we have a summary of Jeroboam's death in succession by his son Nadab. What has the tribe of Judah been up to in this meantime? Well, King Rehoboam was doing the same sort of idolatry. So God sends King Shishak of Egypt to plunder Jerusalem. The wealth of Solomon is gone, and the gold is taken away. All also, there were at war with Israel from generation to generation. We see in chapter 14 and 15 statements that in 14 verse 30, there was a war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam continually. And in chapter 15 verse 32, there was a war between Asa and King Baasha of Israel all their days. After King Rehoboam's death, his son Abijam reigns and dies. Then his grandson Asa begins to reign over Judah, all while King Jeroboam is alive up north in Israel. King Asa of Judah will reign for 41 years and remove sources of idolatry in Judah. King Asa of Judah takes the Lord's gold and gives it to Aram in order to have them fight Israel. King Baasha of Israel then comes into power and kills the descendants of Jeroboam, yet continues in Jeroboam's idol worship. Things are getting complicated quick, especially as these different kings lead even more straying away from each other and definitely straying away from God. So we'll continue to pick up that story coming up next time.